Alright, that was an aggressive stance there on the on the victory pose. So hello. Not sure if I'm live or who's live, but somebody's live, and here we go. Brazil Grand Prix Hakkinen series. We've had a sprint race, which Val has won quite comfortably. Aladdin Noxy Cat. I think I'm accidentally in somebody else's Facebook account. But, you know, oh yeah, it is. It's Sebi. Orcs. Well, who cares? So yeah, I'm just filling in for now. Don't have permission, you know. But who do you really need it, you know? Like, I mean, you do, but just figured while we've got our normal commentator away, I jump in, stream the start of the race. If it switches over in the middle, so be it. So, we're just sorting out the order for the start. Hopefully we're looking good. I'm just going to give a double check on how... Want to become famous? Nah, I'm good, man. Just going to double check, see how everything's going. Everything seems good. How can I moderate the chat? What is going on? Don't know. Block. Nice. What's going on? Yeah, I don't know. It's me, your boy. We got like, I think, is it Deku away at the movies? Probably going to watch something. My guess is Top Gun. Don't respect that a lot myself, but then again, I just invented that, so could be anything. So I am sat on the floor in a very empty house. I'm in the middle of moving, so I can't join in on races, but I'm all down for commentating. So I've got my keyboard on my lap, and currently my mouse pad is an empty pizza box, because that's just the way I'm living right now. I'm going to stop and start spectating just so I can try my best to not join the race. But yeah, is everything going okay? I can't actually see the chat because I don't have my second monitor. Your internet. Yeah, so no, my internet's I'm back up at my OG house and the internet's not off yet. So that's what's going on with this. Go. Is that Ashwin? Go Joe. Woo hashtag. Me Shannon. Welcome. Yeah, I don't know who you're referring to, but whoever they are, go them. I'm getting a message that could be telling me to leave. Okay, no, it's telling me to continue. So yeah, I'm just gonna be doing this for a little bit. It's a bit impromptu, but sometimes that's the best way to be. So I'm probably not going to do anything fancy. Like I said, I don't have a second monitor. This is just going to be a simple one. Oh, is it Jihadi Joe? 69 420. Respect. we going? Is everything alright? I think everything's alright. Hello, hey, it's HK. Man, thought you were gonna win Singapore. The quali was going so well, my dude. Still salty. Yeah, look, I think everyone's a bit over this game. Wait for the next one, I say. Get your wins there. It'll be even more sweet. Alright, so I'm not going to be reading the chat throughout the race, because like I said, I don't really have the capacity to do that. And if somebody messages me and tells me to stop streaming so that they can jump on, I will also be doing that. But in the meantime, let's have a little look at some racing. Just loading in now. Oh, I better bring up some of the sponsors, actually. How do I do that? Nope, not like that. Like that. Nope. Yep. Sponsors, of course. Sully Shirts, Shutter Media, Sim Racing SA. Let's do it. Should jump on HK. I can jump in the Discord if you want. Go through we could do a joint stream. Oh. That'd be far too spicy, I think. Too much for the group to handle. Oh, it's looking a little wet. It's looking a it's looking a little foggy. Do we have is that a thing? At work. Yeah, that's rough. Can't really do that while you're at work, for sure. Oh, you work in radio. Oh, yeah, sick. I mean, you got the voice for it, right? So, or maybe that's why you work there. Who knows? Anyway, we're jumping in. 10 seconds to go. It's looking a little bit cloudy in Brazil. Tricky little track, this. Especially when the weather turns, as most of us in the Schumacher series would have found out the other day. Alright, do we have sound? No, we don't. Hopefully it comes back. There we go. Alright, we are off. Everyone seems to be moving. We got Val with Admiral Aladdin very close, looking to make some moves. We've got a spin further back. That is Julius Cheeser. As we head all the way back to the back of the field. Oh, and contact as Viking maybe rejoins. Cheeser is right out. Alok, Valhalla, all facing the wrong way. Viking, who started in last, is coming around. Some more position changes there. O10s jumps up into 6th, going around. Ooh, and some tough braking there into the start of Sector 2, which is a really tricky area. Pentagonial down in 14th, really closing up on an Aston Martin, but not quite getting it. We have the Vikings still in 16th. Aussie Dude tightening up on Noxie, looking to get a really good run down this straight. Let's ride on board and see if we can see that happening. Jihadi Joe also closing up. Looks like even closer to O10s. Will they make the move? Aussie Dude goes down the inside of Noxie. Doesn't quite get it, and that curb with that fuel load is just brutal. We see a bunch of people in the pits as that Aussie Dude drops all the way down to 13th now, still rejoining in the center S's. Where else do we see movement? Christo, that's a name I'm not familiar with. Off track with the overtake. Squeezing V-Ducks slightly, but pretty clean so far. Val with the 1 second gap. We got G Hattie Joe still closing right up on Noxie. Looking to go for another good exit here. Get in that slipstream. He's really pressuring. Cato as well on the back of Aladdin. The front three are closing up slightly now, as Val again sets another fastest time. Not using energy, so this is going to be a tricky one. He's going to get all the way to the left for a good exit, but again clips that curb, completely destroys the pace on the exit. A little further ahead we have Cato, who goes right into the back of Aladdin. Misjudged the braking, and I'd be surprised if there was no damage at all there. A little further back, the two Alpha Tauris, DJ Millsy and Joe, who I'm gonna refer to as Joe from now on, just because it's a bit much, you know. Is closing up again on Noxie, so Noxie seems to be a bit of a cork in the bottle right now, 1.8 seconds behind Otens, who's closing up on Cato. Otens should get this move done with the DRS, Cato without it. It's pretty much ahead before it even starts. And Cato ducking into the pits, so maybe a little bit of damage. It's very early to be going for a undercut. Biking all the way up into 10th now. As we see Otens already in that 1 second gap to Aladdin in front and Val pulling away. Avanti a little bit further down is closing up, and we see a battle here between Joe Noxie, Avanti, DJ Millsy. More pitting going on at the back. Julius Cheeser in the pit again. Some definite locking up going on into that corner. Yellow flags. Just ahead, Otens comes off and has ghosted. Avanti very wisely moves around. Will Millsy get on the back of Otens too, who should have some still warm tyres, and Millsy with the mediums. Let's bring up the telemetry before somebody yells at me in the chat, which I won't be able to see. What am I doing right now? So we see some big position changes. Noxie is the highest up of the medium runners, and so after this stop we'll gain that first place. Towards right at the back of the field we have a Pentagonial closing up on Wild, who's quite close to Ronaldinho through the center S's. Christo with a 3-second penalty, the first of the race. Burning energy, we can see Wild with the light flashing as Hazza also picks up a penalty. Pentagonial closing up on Wild. This shouldn't, with that light flashing, shouldn't be too tricky. Pentagonial tries to maybe just send it over the what do you call it? Thing. Noxie though, with Avanti right behind, gets ahead. Avanti going to be looking to maybe take this back with Otens just behind as well. We do see it, Pentagonial does get ahead of Ronaldinho, not Wild though, so probably a mistake there. As Joe has an unfortunate mistake, which leads to Otens getting in front of Avanti. Pentagonial does now make the move on to Wild over the main straight, so unfortunately we missed that. Viking closing up on Christo. who, like we say, has that penalty. He's on the medium tyres, the Viking, so one of those few that started on the mediums that are doing quite well so far. A little bit further up the field we have, of course, Otens with the DRS on Noxy. Noxy without it, so this could be a move down into turn 1 we see. We'll get that's a terrible angle, but we do see a better one here as Otens takes the inside. Will Noxy be able to battle it back? Has Avanti right on the back. Yellow flag, sector 3. Can't quite tell who that is. Otens breaks the slipstream and then moves back onto the racing line. Yeah, not sure you can do that really. Not that aggressively anyway, but maybe it's fine. Noxy's probably too far behind for that to be a problem. We see Joe just tucking in behind Millsy now. Julius Cheeser with the DNF, and a safety car. Wow, that's good because I was about to stop speaking English there. So this will give me the opportunity as we'll see what the soft runners choose to do. Val on 100% ERS there. Oh, I just dropped my keyboard. So Val chooses to pit. Aladdin will too. Otens will as well. Noxy will stay out. No, Noxy on the medium tyres will come in. Avanti overtook under safety car, which is not generally considered good manners. I mean, it's not allowed, but in the safety, in the pit, you can sometimes do things like that. We see a migrating host going on there. I hope that does not mean we're having a remake of this. That's a late remake if it is. I'm just going to Alt-Tab real quick to get a look at the the chat. Monte Cristo, isn't the Monte Cristo statue somewhere in that area? Cristo Curb, I don't know. Is the short answer to that. You mean like the Count of Monte Cristo? Good book. Haven't read it. Heard good things though. So, Vidux and Millsy stay out on the 7-lap old mediums. They take first and second. Val, who was on the soft tyres at the start in P1, is effectively still in P1 once the tyre changes all shake out. Aladdin still effectively in P2, same with Otens for third. Avanti stays out on the 8-lap old softs. We see a bunch of stuff going on. Viking, who I think may have disconnected, has come back in and pitted, so tumbling back down the order. I just realised I can actually read chat if I just open it on my phone. The big white statue in Brazil, lol. Yeah, look, I don't know, man. If it is, then you're gonna have to provide the info on that, because I can't speak to the statues of Brazil. It's not my particular area of expertise. Yeah. But thanks for sharing, if it is. How's the pillow going? Yeah, well, like I said, Dave, I've upgraded to a pizza box now, which is a nice flat surface for my mouse pad. So I'm actually back to being an elite gamer now. Safety car in this lap. And we'll follow on with... I think we'll follow on with Val for the restart. Unfortunately, my blow-up mattress has a hole in it, so when I wake up in the morning, I'm on the floor. Alright, we see the restart. Millsy with not a good one. Val could have this position all wrapped up into turn 1. He's going to have to go the long way around. Millsy's not going to make it easy. And Val, trying to make that happen, has lost a position, but gets a good run out. A little bit further back, we have Cat trying to make a move on Avanti, as we can see the whole field there jostling for position. Making waves, yeah, for sure. Huge crash. Aussie dude out of the session. We saw Cristo there in the Ferrari in the barrier, doing a couple of spins on the way off. All the way from Cat forwards, we have quite the pack. Vidux getting a little bit of a jump on the rest of the field. And then because of that crash from 8th down, we have some bigger gaps, some 2-second gaps. All the way down to Hazza. And then picking it back up at Pentagonial, all the way to the back of the field from there. So, some things that are sort of spreading out a little bit. Cat getting kind of dropped by this pack. He's going to have to work hard to stay in it. We've got yellow flags in Sector 3. Avanti with a bit of an issue. Will mean that Cat gets an incredible run out of this corner and probably might have it. Chooses to back off. I mean, on the medium tyres, doesn't need to. Avanti out brakes himself and gives the position up to Cato. Yellow flags in Sector 3. I really should have the map up so that I can see a little bit more. That's a Ferrari. That's Cristo. So the white statue of Brazil is out of the session. And we have another safety car. That was exciting. How's the chat going? Puncture, no. Blow up mattress and pizza box pillow. I'm going to start a GoFundMe page. Yeah, no. So the pillow, I was using a pillow as a mouse pad, so now I'm not. I'm using a pizza box as a mouse pad, so don't worry. I've got a bed and I've got a pillow, so no need to fund me anything. It's all good. Save your money. Donate it to a charity. Proper one. We got some big penalties though. Some drive-throughs, speeding under the safety car. Valhalla with one. So we will see Avanti, Wild, Valhalla all pit. They'll be serving... Oh, Avanti gets a new wing, actually. Vidux is going to stay out. Couldn't get back to the pits. Oh, no. Oh, with the puncture, right, yeah. That's pretty rough. Yeah. I, touch wood, have never had a puncture in a league race yet. So I don't really know what driving with one is like, but I can imagine it's not fun. Pentagonial also out. I didn't see that. I don't know quite what happened there. Was that under safety car? It was definitely after Cristo. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was my bad. I was reading chat. One of the Alpha Tauris crashed, carbon everywhere. Yeah, for sure. It was a big old crash, for sure. I saw you do a couple spins on the way off the track there, Cristo, so it's a bit of a mess. Who have we got pitting? Is that Aladdin? Yeah, so we have Aladdin on 3-lap-old mediums, choosing to pit. That's a real weird one. Cat also going to be pitting. I wonder what we're going on to. Another set of mediums? You'd hope so. Yeah, and a new wing. Is it going to be the same for Cat? Yes. No. So Cat gets a position there. but comes in without needing a wing. Petition the sponsors for a mouse pad for each of the commentators. I wouldn't mind that, but you know, I'd have a custom mouse pad for sure, with Cheeky Otter written on it. Yeah. Well, if that happens, I'm not going to say no. But like I say, I should have switched to hards. Maybe hards. I feel like almost never the right choice. It's you need. There's only like 2 tracks where hards actually work kind of well. I don't think Brazil's one of them. But maybe. We'll have to see. So we've got Valhalla on the hards. We'll be looking to go for the rest of the race. I think the problem with hards is that with safety cars being so frequent, you very rarely get the use out of them. Oh, Joe with a collision on wild, so possibly just a touch under the safety car. While we wait for the restart, we're going to follow on board with O10s. So Vedux with a good restart. Gets a decent gap on Val. Noxy right on the back of O10s, trying to stay in the slipstream, which was all over the place. We have something going on. We're going to pop back a little bit. We have a McLaren. We've got a yellow flag. What is going on here? Cat on the inside of Valhalla isn't going to send it, but gets contact anyway. If you're not going to send it, I think you might as well pull all the way out. A big pack here in the middle, though, as we see the cars coming into corners, and I think at the moment they are sort of concertinaing up, and people are getting damage left, right, and centre. Hards are not fun here. Temps are too high. Yeah, true. Val on fire. Val is doing quite well. And Valhalla as well, actually, on the mediums, is doing not too bad as we head forward to get a look at the Viking overtaking somebody. Who was that? Wild. As we see A-Lock going wide at the center S's. Yellow flags again as we head back into this pack. 3 wide down the straight. What is going to happen here? They've sort of settled out. A-Lock, probably with wing damage, has dropped off the pack just a little bit. Avanti with a massive send! 2 spots, but oh dear. And a retirement. 2 spots, penalty, retirement. It doesn't get swifter than that. And a VSC this time. Wow. I don't know what I saw just then, but holy, that was a send. That could have been a controller disconnection. I kind of hope it was. So under VSC we will see Vedux pitting, as well as the Viking and Wild and Valhalla, Aladdin, A-Lock, heaps of people. A-Lock picks up a penalty. It's not quite as good pitting under the VSC, but I think makes a lot of sense for Vedux. Just 20 laps to go. It's going to come out on softs, which probably are going to struggle to go to the end. Still a VSC. Controller disconnection, yeah. Could be. Alright, we're back underway. O10's keeping right on the back of our race leader Val. Is using the energy. Has the DRS enabled. Is going for a pass on Val. And we will see the rear wing open, and that position has been gained. Will Val get the opportunity to fight back? I wonder. We're going to see Val with the rear wing open, starting to gain. Not very much though, and the position will be held by O10's for now. So O10's up into the lead, Noxy, Val just behind, Cat with a big gap behind them in fourth, and then time to DJ Millsy 2. So these front three really really close together. Hazza and Valhalla both in the pits. What else is going on? The rest of the field's spread out quite a bit, so we're going to continue watching these front three until we see some action elsewhere. Controller disconnection is a rough situation. Noxy really closing on Val. Val looking maybe to save some energy, has 80%. So does O10. So Noxy in the sort of roughest of these situations, and continues to burn it, which is not really necessary in third. You're not going to get the overtake, so probably save it. O10's with penalty as well, so Val happy to sit behind for a bit. We saw just before that the Viking had set the fastest time. V-Duck's closing up on the medium runner there, Ronaldinho, who's just picked up a penalty. We're going to flick back to see V-Ducks going around the outside in that tight second sector. Ronaldinho struggling a bit. I'm going to pop back to see the Viking, who will hopefully be making short work of Ronaldinho and keeping in sight of V-Ducks. Ronaldinho will have the DRS though. He's going to pass him. He's really closing up on V-Ducks too. Val looked to be trying to make something happen. Hasn't yet, though. Noxy really burning the energy, down to 30%. Is, again, using just as much as the front two. When you're in third, you really want to be sat in that slipstream. Aladdin with a penalty, as they start to stack up here in Brazil. Viking has managed to stay inside the DRS range of V-Ducks. Will hope to be pulled along. Noxy again using a little energy there. Val using some as well, deciding that now's the time to go for it. O10's goes across and covers the outside. This exit though from Val is incredibly nice. O10's using a little energy, but happy to not use it all. Noxy still in third. O10's fighting it back! This is tense. Oh, this is a rough place to be. They are wheel-to-wheel racing. We see the move down into... They're still side by side. O10's slightly pulling ahead now. Still wheel to wheel this whole lap so far. Trading positions. O10's just eases in front of Val, who has a slight energy disadvantage now, but will have the DRS again and is using more. So all drivers there were using a ton of tyre going around that lap. Noxie is very much on the edge too, and is making a move on Val, and gets it done. Val backs off. This is a huge battle for the podium positions right now, changing places. We see one of the lapped cars there. Val closing back up on Noxie, who finds himself firmly in second for now. Otens may try to gap them here, but is not finding it too easy. Wild picks up a position there on Ronaldinho, who looks to be fighting it back a bit. Two of the best. That was huge, yeah. That was a massive battle. For a whole lap, they were wheel to wheel. Oh, big kick of oversteer there from Otens, as we see DJ Millsy parked in the middle of the exit of Sector 3. Noxie now going to be making the move into Turn 1. Takes it around the outside and has the least energy at 12%. We see the light flashing, so Otens and Val will both know all about this. Otens makes the play back to the inside and gets it, and Noxie will have to be very careful now. Wants to hold on to third. If he drops to second, if he drops to third, then he could get gapped with the discrepancy in the amount of ERS stocked up. If we head just a little bit further back while this battle continues, we'll see the Viking has made their way in front of V-Dux for now, and V-Dux still right on the back. Joe and Aladdin also close to some cars. Same with DJ Millsy. We'll check back in with them. For now, though, what's happening at the front? Noxie closing up again. 12% ERS goes around the outside. Side by side. Val with a really good exit. He's going to be looking to move up here. Noxie again with the light flashing. Moves across to cover the outside. As we do see DJ Millsy. The Viking has pitted. So it's going to be looking to go 13 laps on the softs to finish the race off. Now we can see the consequence of choosing those hard tyres. Was it Valhalla that chose the hard tyres? Because he's found himself all the way back in 14th now with some pretty fresh softs on, so we'll need to make a bit of a charge. Val falling right out of the range, and will they have DRS? No DRS for Val. So has fallen out of the gap with a rough exit there. Otens and Noxie continuing to battle, and with this gap, it may be that Val is now out of contention for this battle for now, at least. Is using a ton of energy to try and close the gap back up, and won't get it. So a little bit further back we see Wild in the pits. A position change there, the Viking into turn 1 on Wild. Oh no, that was in the pits as well, my bad. Getting a little too hypey there. Val has managed to just claw this gap back down to under a second, so we'll need to keep on it. Yeah, thanks for that. I don't know what it is, so I'm glad somebody else said what they thought first. Yeah, energy... What is it? Energy recovery system? Yeah. Thanks for that, HK. So, yeah. It's the little bar in the left, bottom left of the screen. with the yellow percentage with the battery. So O10's with 50%, Noxie with 8, Val with 20, so O10's in a great position right now. You obviously regain it as braking occurs. So when you see the red light on the back of the car flashing, that indicates that they are below 15%. So these two cars will know full well that Noxie is running incredibly low on battery. And for O10's on 50%, that is good news. Does have the penalty though. What is the penalty at? 3 seconds. So right now O10's is not really in contention for first or second. Noxie pops into the pits. So Noxie, the first of the front three to decide to go in. And we will follow on with Noxie's outlap to see if they can cut this gap right down. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the interval to the leader. So Noxie now 18 seconds almost coming out of the pits. Yeah, it will be 18 seconds. So we're going to see what kind of time they can put in and if they can gain a little gap with the undercut. I mean, they're not really undercutting. They were in first, but they're the first to pit, so they'll have the better time on the outlap. Will DJ Millsy choose to go in as well? Very lucky for Noxie to get ahead of Aladdin, so not stuck in traffic on this outlap. So at the moment it's about 7/10 faster than O10's in first, who continues on. Val chooses to pit, and Noxie is coming around now. Has taken a full second, 1.2, 1.3 out of the leader, so is really gaining. May have just cracked that at the right time. We're going to see Val as they exit the pit. What is the gap like on exit? That is the real question. We're going to head back to our normal interval, and we will see 2.5 seconds there that Noxie has pulled on Val. So that was a maximum of a second gap on pit. And a safety car comes out. Terrible timing for Noxie. Valhalla has DNF'd right around, where is it? I don't even know. Sector 2? Val has picked up a penalty for speeding. So Noxie, the only one of the front three cars without a penalty now. So just has to manage to stay out of trouble. O10's pops into the pit, same with Cat. This is great for O10's, who will probably come out now in first. So we see Noxie trying to push as fast as possible while respecting the delta, but we can see just over there O10's coming out, who doesn't have a delta to respect. And there you go. So even though Noxie pits earlier and put in an incredible outlap, gained a second and a half on third place, getting lucky and staying out for that safety car means that O10's has jumped into first place again with 100% battery. Now with the safety car it should even out, which is good for Noxie, but we won't know fully yet. With the amount that these cars are spread though, you would assume that it would even back out all the way. Joe with a time penalty there for crossing track limits. Let's have a check back in with the penalties. So we got Val has a drive-through. So that is catastrophic for Val. I thought it might just be a 5-second, but no. A drive-through penalty means Val is effectively out of contention for a podium. Noxie in a fantastic position now, is not under threat from behind. Only has O10s in front with a penalty, just has to keep it clean for a race win. I'm just going to give it a very quick Alt-Tab just to double check that everything's working okay. Apologies for this. Yeah, everything I think is fine. Solid passage of race. It was a good little battle going on there. New pedals for Ronald D. I can't wait to get a new wheel and pedals. Soon, hopefully. So the penalties aren't quite as bad as I thought they were. From how often it's been coming up, I thought that we were going to have people with like 9, 12 seconds, but we've only got 2 with 6 seconds, Hazza and Joe. Everyone else with a penalty has 3 seconds, apart from Val, who has a drive-through. So, another important thing to remember is that you can't serve your drive-through now. You have to serve it after the race has restarted. So, if Val pulls in here, it's a big mistake. Well done, Val. I didn't know that, and it screwed me over a few races ago. But there we go. So Val knows what he's doing. Viking with a position change there on Millsy and giving the space required is moving up in the standings. So Vidux, Cat, Viking, all possible competitors for that 3rd podium spot. Aladdin, possible, but with the penalty, things are going to have to really fall into place. Bit of a gap behind DJ Millsy now, so the field's spreading again with a 2nd coming up there. Noxie really struggling to stay on the back of O10, so by the time DRS is re-enabled, Noxie needs to be within a 2nd here. Both burning energy. O10's trying to break the gap. Noxie trying to close it. The drive-through from Val is being taken now. Vidux moves up into that final podium position, with Cat just behind. Noxie needs to be very careful. This next lap or 2 is going to completely decide whether or not Noxie can hold on to that 1st place. A little bit further back we have Cat right on the back of the Ducks. Vidux, whatever you prefer. The Cat and the Duck fighting it out for 3rd place. Wild in a good position to move all the way up into 7th with the way the penalties are currently shaking out. O10's managing a 2.5 gap now, and it just keeps getting bigger, so Noxie is really going to need to have some very consistent laps. Needs 2 or 3 really clean ones to bring that gap back down. Cat with the DRS on Vidux now. A little bit further back we have Ronaldinho on Joe, as Joe covers the inside and brakes later, positions the car really nicely there to cut off Ronaldinho on that run around the outside. Noxie doing a good job keeping that gap down. It's come down about a tenth. O10's, though, is backed right off on the ERS, so he's going to have a bunch on the straights to pull away with. Noxie burning it to try and close the gap. Isn't going to get inside DRS, so all O10's has to do is keep this at a second, and with that energy advantage, should be able to continue to pull it away. VDux, though, getting dragged along by Noxie is going to make it very tricky for Cat, who closes right up, but needs a much cleaner exit than that to be able to start contesting. Even VDux now moving up on Noxie, and he's going to dive up the inside, and VDux now up into second place. So Noxie, unfortunately, they're using the energy, trying to stay in on O10's, has cost him. O10's picks up another penalty, so O10's completely out of contention for the podium now, with 6 seconds. Wild with a 10-second penalty, who was very in an incredible position to move up to 7th there just on penalties alone. Now is in the worst situation. Noxie battling back with VDux now. So VDux, Noxie, Cat is going to be the podium. We're just not quite sure what order yet. As we cross the line into turn 1 and 2, as Hazahawk picks up another penalty. We now see O10's way out in front, but with 6 seconds. Some contact there between VDux and Noxie. I don't know about that. Noxie uses the whole track on that exit. Wild retires. Everyone using everything. Cat, though, sitting patiently here with 70% energy against 2 people on about 15. So if something happens, if there's some more contact like that, Cat could sail into a victory here. It's got to be patient. Got to use a lot of energy, though. I'd be using a little bit more than that. You want to be right there, ready to capitalize. Noxie burning energy. Ooh, Ronaldinho with another penalty. We're going to be focusing just on this battle here, as I can't really keep up with the penalties the way they are. Noxie breaking the slipstream, 2 laps to go. Keeping that effective P1 for now with the red light flashing. 5% to 6% on Noxie. 6% on Noxie, 25 on VDux. Cat with a monumental 60%. What have we got in the chat? Any predictions? Can we see tyres for sure? Yeah, sorry, I'm not focusing on the chat. Yeah, so Noxie with the older of the front 3. What did I just click? But really not much in it. Viking with an incredible 13-lap old softs. Alright, Cat's got to start using this energy. I'd be burning it all the way to the line, as there's only so much you can use. 50-60% is a little too much for 1 lap of deployment. Cat really needs to think about going very soon. Has a massive energy advantage. VDux pulling to the outside. Cat with an opportunity here as VDux goes wide. Cat needs to send it. Could look to the inside here. Stays patient. Maybe waiting to see if Noxie and VDux tussle again. Cat giving us an amazing view of the end of this race. as we come around exit sector 2 with just one long corner left and a run down to the straight. Who gets the best exit? V-Dux has a good one. Noxie with a good one as well. The lights flashing. Cat making a run for it. It is getting incredibly close. But V-Dux and Noxie, Cat, and Viking in fourth with O10s parked on the starting line, causing massive amounts of carnage once the race is over. So we have your winner, V-Dux. Huge race, huge race. Some great battling. Viking with driver of the day, Codemasters driver of the day. Apparently, V-Dux straight back to the pits to celebrate with the team. What an end. That was a good one. Well done to the drivers. So we will quickly recap. V-Dux in first, Noxie ending up in second, Cato in third, Viking with a very respectable fourth from 19th on the grid. O10s with that 6-second penalty dropping to fifth. And then we have Aladdin, Millsy, Val, Alok, Joe rounding out the top 10. Ronaldinho, Hazza, Wild, Valhalla, and then I think just a smattering of DNFs. Oh no, including Valhalla. So out of the 19 drivers, we had 12 that finish, 13 that finish. So well done for everyone that did finish. And there was some great racing in there, some wheel-to-wheel battles, some close stuff. Thanks to the sponsors, Sully's Shirts, Sim Racing, SA, and Shutter Media, as always, for sponsoring these events. We appreciate it. If you do end up doing custom mouse pads, you know, hit me up. I'm not like I've got a mouse pad. It's just in my the place I'm moving to. But you know, if they're getting sent out, hit me up. All right, that is the end of our stream. Sorry that it was a bit late and impromptu. I just sort of jumped on. Big hearts for V-Dux. Well done. GG indeed. Thoughts on the last overtake? Yeah, that was a bit of a Verstappen-y kind of going wide. I think it was probably fine, right? Like, what can you do? Trying to leave space. It's not like you were pushing anyone. It happens. Cato for a podium. Thank you for streaming tonight. Appreciate you. Oh, thanks HK. Yeah, it was a bit of a last minute thing, but it's alright. I love watching the races. So, all right, that's all from me. We'll see you again next time. I think Hakkinen has one more race to go, Abu Dhabi maybe. And if that's the case, whoever is streaming it, we'll see you then.